can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down, or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen to this in a still position, then feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. And just allow yourself to fidget, adjust, stretch, move in whatever ways your body wants to move. And not thinking about what the movements look like, but just allowing yourself or allowing your body to intuitively move you in the ways that feel good and helpful for you right now. And if what feels best for you right now is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like the right thing for you. And there's no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice for as long as you need to or whenever you need to. At any point, if you're feeling ready to come to that still position, then you may do so. Just feeling that the spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. And you can mark your arrival into your practice today, into your body today, with a full and intentional cleansing breath. As you take a long and slow inhale in through the nose and just let yourself fill up to every corner and edge of you as you just pause for a moment when you're full and really experience that sense of fullness. And without straining as you need to, slowly letting all of that go. Again, through the nose and gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to just push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment to just experience that sense of emptiness. And allow your next breath to come to you as it's needed. So you can breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful. And not worrying too much about the actual length of your inhales, exhales, and pauses, but just letting them all be exaggerated, whatever that means to you today. So just taking one more sip of air into the body, even when you think you're full, seeing if you can just get a little bit fuller, and seeing if you can just hold that within you for a moment longer than you might normally. And again, exhaling a bit more fully than normal, and pausing once again. So we're just consciously slowing down the process of our breath and syncing up our awareness with that slowed down breath. And so you can continue to breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful to you. And at any point, if you haven't already, you can simply release this guidance over your breath altogether and allow yourself to step back and up in the mind as you come into that role of the observer or the witness. And seeing if you can simply witness the fact that your body is breathing rather than having any direct impact or influence over the rhythm or depth of the breath. Just remembering that you do have the ability to watch your body breathing you. You have the ability to observe your body, and just like it is a force of nature, taking on that same feeling you might get when you're sitting on the edge of a stream and just watching the water flow by. Not trying to change anything about how the water is moving, but simply watching as it moves. Remembering how your body does breathe all on its own, even when you are deep in sleep. And just seeing if you can watch that process, even if just for a moment. Watching the breath without altering the breath, which sometimes can feel really difficult, if not impossible. So it is perfectly okay if that's where you're at today. Just allowing your awareness to slowly make its way into the muscles in your face. And even with the eyes closed, just seeing any expression that could be resting on your face. Feeling any residing tension in the face. Maybe in areas like the jaw or the eyebrows. Maybe even in the nostrils or the chin, or even the ears. And just making a note for yourself of how you are starting this practice today. Making note of any emotions that could be communicated by the resting expression on your face. And then instead allowing these areas to open and soften and expand. As you just simply allow your jaw to hang into place. Allow your tongue to release from the roof of the mouth. As you feel the corners of your mouth soften a little bit more. As the lips just rest on each other. And just feel how this release in the muscles around your mouth will naturally expand so that your chin softens a little bit more. Your nostrils expanding outward and upward as the cheeks soften. The upper jaw and the ears. The eyelids and all those tiny little muscles along your lash line that scrunch up when you squint, even feeling those soften as the corners of the eyes just get a little bit wider, simply by the release of tension. And even feeling your eyeballs just resting in their sockets. Releasing them into the support of your skull. As you feel the eyebrows in the full width and depth of your forehead soften and expand. As the hairline releases back. And you allow that sense of release to naturally cascade down the scalp. Down the back and sides of the neck. As the shoulders become heavier and release down and away from the ears. As the arms become heavier and the hands relax fully. And just bring some awareness to the shape that your shoulders are making in relation to your heart. So maybe your heart is kind of hiding and curling back into this cave-like form of your heart, of your shoulders, I mean. And if that's the case, you can just bring some awareness to the tips of your shoulders. And imagine that they're being drawn in opposite directions as you feel the collarbones broaden and your heart stepping forward into this more proud position, resting toward the front of your body in the space between the upper arms. And allowing yourself to soften into this posture as your chin falls toward the heart slightly, as you feel the full length of the back of your neck. And really just clearing that channel from your heart up through the throat, into the skull, the brain stem, and into the brain itself. And allowing your rib cage to soften and almost hug the lungs. And feeling all the muscles across your abdomen soften and almost hug the organs. Feeling your pelvic floor lengthen and widen into your seat. Softening the glutes and all the muscles down the legs and the feet and the toes. As you just feel this overall sense of acceptance with your body and with exactly where you are in space right now. Even if it's just for a moment, not trying to change anything about what you are experiencing in this moment. And just reminding yourself that having a meditation practice or any healing practice is not about ignoring everything bad and painful and unpleasant and just shoving love and light on top of it. And this process is almost one of taking inventory. If you have this daily practice, just coming at this from a curious perspective and just noticing what it is that you find, how it is that you are feeling, the full spectrum of feelings. And if there is pain and heartache present in you, then just practicing allowing it to be here. Because oftentimes that greatest suffering that we all feel is the resistance we have to what we are feeling. So when we're feeling upset or hurt, those voices that tell us, well, I should be grateful, I should be happy, I should be anything else. And so just noticing if any of those should thoughts are there and trusting that you have the discernment to be able to discern whether any of these thoughts are helpful or are things that maybe do need your attention, and things that are just noise and distracting you from what it is you are feeling. And remembering that the only way that we move on from feelings truly is by feeling what is currently here and not shoving them down deeper within us where they will just become more embedded, but allowing them to arise and therefore release in whatever way they need to. Allowing for any emotional release that needs to come. And trusting that you will not drown, you will not be crushed when you feel hard things. That you are capable of feeling hard feelings and doing hard things. and it does not break you or make you weaker. It actually makes you stronger and hold a larger capacity. And so you can just let your awareness rest on your heart. As you just sync up your own awareness with this rhythm that is beating within you. And just remembering the magic that is your heart, the pure gift that this heart is. And that this heart has been beating for you, has been pumping life into you from before you were even breathing air, from the time you were in your mother's womb up to this exact moment. And this heart is a pure gift of life. And there is nothing that you need to do to earn this gift or to prove yourself worthy of this gift. But the simple fact that you are here and alive is all the proof you need of your worthiness. And so you do not need to earn any more love from the world around you. But you can remember that this heart is your direct line of connection to the source that all love comes from. And so it would be impossible for you to earn any more of this love, because you have it all right within you already. And so when we catch ourselves trying to prove ourselves or prove our worthiness, we can remind ourselves that instead of doing things for external love and appreciation, we can instead do things from the love that we already possess. And you'll notice that that will naturally awaken that same love in the people around us and allow it to expand naturally. And so you can just continue to feel whatever is here for you to feel as you just listen to the following words written by young Pueblo in his book Inward. And just allow anything that feels like it resonates with you or anything that feels helpful to soak in a little deeper and not worrying about the rest. Healing begins with acceptance and culminates in letting go. When a great misery occurs, it remains with us for as long as we hold on to it. Attachments form because of the energy we use to keep what happened, or the image of what we want to happen, locked away within our mind and body. This is the cause of tension in our being. When we hold on to these attachments, they travel with us as a burden, from our past to our present and into our future. They can even be passed on to our descendants long after we are gone. But the miracle of healing ourselves is so powerful, because in the movement of accepting and letting go, we relinquish the energy of burden, not only in our present, but in our past and future as well. Imagine the timeline of your life. Now imagine the burdens that you carry as an extra line layered on top. As we let go of our miseries, this extra layer becomes thinner and thinner. It will not change what happened, but the extra energy we carried because of these occurrences will no longer weigh down the timeline of our life. What happened, happened. But now these moments are no longer attachments of pain and sorrow. Now they are experiences we learned from, lessons that bring us into the present of a greater freedom, happiness, and wisdom. When you grow rapidly and experience such deep insights that you can no longer look at yourself or the world in the same way, be kind. Allow yourself the time and space to settle into the new you. A body is a field of moving energy and a system of information. As life continues its fluctuations, we tend to gather attachments, burdens, and sorrows. We hold them so tightly that they become embedded in the body, causing blockages and disruptions in the flow of our system, which can limit access to the best possible versions of ourselves. This sometimes manifests as ailments as well as a lack of belief in our own power and a lack of understanding of the universe. But when we use purifying healing techniques, the body begins releasing these knots of attachment, allowing our field of energy to return to balance and move more freely and powerfully. This causes changes in our body, not just physical changes, but immaterial and internal changes as well, such as believing in oneself more, the growth of love, and the aspiration to grow into wisdom. Really, there is no separation between the mind and the body. They move together as one under the leadership of our mental contents. I am not fully healed. I am not fully wise. I am still on my way. What matters is that I am moving forward. So you can just take the next few moments to just allow everything you've heard today to settle. And just trusting that anything you heard that felt helpful to you, or resonated with you, or struck a chord with you, just trusting that that feeling can sometimes come when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. And so just allowing those truths to be enhanced within you, so you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own internal sense of knowing, on your own intuition. Trusting that you already know exactly what it is you need to do in all senses. And just letting some awareness come back to your heart if it left. And just once again syncing up with your own heartbeat. Feeling this heartbeat and how it also exists in your head, the space between the eyebrows, pulsing right along with your heart. And just allowing this communication between your head and your heart to be clear. To clear this channel just by being aware of the connection. And feeling a sense of your heartbeat in the palms of both hands. And if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can just let the pulse of your hands be drawn toward each other as they come to a prayer position toward heart center. As you just feel your thumbs press back toward your heart and let your heart lift back toward your thumbs. As you just feel all of this power that is generated through you. And you can take a final deep and full breath into the body as you fill up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. And just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.